The Miracle of Flowers by Robin Craig Clark. Chapter 1. The Miracle of Flowers. Nobody sees a flower really. It is so small. We haven't time, and to see takes time, like to have a friend takes time, wrote Georgia O'Keeffe. Just living is not enough. One must have sunshine, freedom, and a little flower, wrote Hans Christian Andersen. I perhaps owe having become a painter to flowers, said Claude Monet. Every flower is beautiful and unusual, shrouded in an elusive and mysterious aura which it presents to all people without exception. Poets write of their timeless beauty, and artists are compelled to paint them. Prophets speak of their transitory nature and value in enlightening the human soul. Flowers are the personification of purity, beauty, and love. They bring healing and give us joy. They make us feel good and help us celebrate meaningful moments in our lives. A flower may bring a smile or invoke a tear. They are transformative and eternal. Flowers grow wildly in the fields and woods, in our gardens, and in the cracks of a city pavement. To gaze upon a flower is to behold the wisdom of life. How miraculous that something so bountiful and free upon the earth is also the source of spiritual understanding. There are many questions to ask of life: religious, mathematical, philosophical, biological, each having their own persuasions on who we are, what we are, why we are the way we are. Yet do we ever discover anything about ourselves that really makes a difference? Mind is the master power that molds and makes, and we are mind. And evermore we take the tool of thought, and shaping what we will, bring forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 ills. We think in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass, wrote James Allen. While mind is master, we will never awaken our inner vision. It is only in the quietness and stillness where lightness of being can be found. When in the company of a flower, we are instantly transported, taken into this world of light and tranquility. As we gaze into this other world, we begin to release the ties of thought. Looking further, in contemplation upon the glowing colors, the myriad patterns, the way the sun shines through the veil of petals, we move into a deep spiritual state with the flower. Wander at leisure through the garden of these living pages. Gaze through your inner looking glass, and there you will come to know the language, the wisdom, and the miracle of flowers. Chapter 2. Song of the Flower. I am a kind word, uttered and repeated by the voice of nature. I am a star fallen from the blue tent upon the green carpet. I am the daughter of the elements with whom winter conceived, to whom spring gave birth. I was reared in the lap of summer, and I slept in the bed of autumn. At dawn I unite with the breeze to announce the coming of light. At eventide, I join the birds in bidding the light farewell. The plains are decorated with my beautiful colors, and the air is scented with my fragrance. As I embrace slumber, the eyes of night watch over me, and as I awaken, I stare at the sun, which is the only eye of the day. I drink dew for wine, and hearken to the voices of the birds, and dance to the rhythmic swaying of the grass. I am the lover's gift. I am the wedding wreath. I am the memory of a moment of happiness. I am the last gift of the living to the dead. I am a part of joy and a part of sorrow. But I look up high to see only the light, and never look down to see my shadow. This is wisdom which man must learn, wrote Khalil Gibran. Please pause for reflection. Chapter 3. See the Miracle. If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change, said Buddha. Imagine your world changing. Imagine love, peace, happiness, freedom. This is the miracle of a single flower. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, taught Jesus. Seek a quiet place in the company of flowers. And when you are there, be still. All you need is right here. Be like the flower, turn your faces to the sun, wrote Khalil Gibran. The most sacred act of coming to enlightenment is found in the garden. The men of experiment are like the ant. They only collect and use. But the bee gathers its materials from the flowers of the garden and of the field, but transforms and digests it by a power of its own, said Leonardo da Vinci. What you are searching for, you already have in the alchemy of your garden. All the flowers of all the tomorrows are in the seeds of today, is an Indian proverb. You are eternal. Happiness held is the seed. Happiness shared is the flower. Warmed by the sun. Caressed in gentle winds. The rain brings fragrance to the air. You blossom in abundance of pure joy. The earth laughs in flowers, wrote E. E. Cummings. When you take a flower in your hand and really look at it, it's your world for the moment, said Georgia O'Keeffe. Be like a flower. Look to the light. Let us open our leaves like a flower and be passive and receptive, wrote John Keats. Dance, that springtime may awaken the seeds of your dreams. Sing to the summer sun, so it may open the petals of your heart. All my life I have tried to pluck a thistle and plant a flower wherever the flower would grow in thought and mind, said Abraham Lincoln. Whatever troubles trouble you. Whenever there are complaints upon your lips, wherever there is toil and unrest, seek the garden in your own peace. Happiness is to hold flowers in both hands, is a Japanese proverb. Happiness is simple, a glorious thing, the budding and bursting of joy from a heart full of love. It is written in the Quran that bread feeds the body, but flowers also feed the soul. Feeding desires, filling space with time. It is also wise to be still and let the essence of earth and sky nourish you. Chapter 4. Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling leaves in glee. A poet could not be but gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought, for oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils, wrote William Wordsworth. Please pause for reflection. Who would have thought it possible that a tiny little flower could preoccupy a person so completely that there simply wasn't room for any other thought, said Sophie Scholl. How awakening happens is a mystery, and perhaps the only definition of it is found in the actual experience of your own awareness. Silently a flower blooms, in silence it falls away. Yet here now, at this moment, at this place, the whole of the flower, the whole of the world is blooming. This is the talk of the flower, the truth of the blossom, the glory of eternal life is fully shining here, wrote Zenkei Shibayama. At dawn I asked the lotus, what is the meaning of life? Slowly she opened her hand with nothing in it, wrote Deborah Woolard Bender. Flowers speak, but not in words. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet, wrote William Shakespeare. Every eye beholds the same flower, and each heart confides inwardly to its wisdom. Love is a flower, you've got to let it grow, said John Lennon. There is nothing you can see that is not a flower, said Matsuo Basho. Flowers are love's truest language, wrote Park Benjamin. You are a seed. You are transcending the stones and shells of pragmatic earth. Unfurling, spiraling, turning, facing the sun. And in soft hue and sweet perfume, you are love. Other books by Robin Craig Clark. Book 1, The Garden, a love story for the soul. The Garden is a delightful fable about life, about growing up, becoming lost, and finding your way home. Open for interpretation, The Garden allows you to bring your own understanding and meaning to the story. You are a dreamer, awakening in the garden of your birth. Following a well-trodden path, you meet and befriend the flower of life, and together travel through a magical landscape recapturing the wonderment and transcendent beauty of childhood. To complete your spiritual journey, to discover the secret of who you are, you must follow your heart's desire and discover it takes greater courage to let go and free your soul than to hold on. It is the beautiful illustrations of sacred geometry woven into Celtic patterns and nature's gifts that makes this little book really special. The reader is taken through a love story of the soul, and I could not help but think of that other great poem of love by Khalil Gibran, The Garden of the Prophet, as I read through these pages. This is a book to languish over in the quiet of your mind and can be used as an excellent tool for inspiration, illumination, and opening of the heart, is a review by Insight Publishing. Book 2, Voyager, The Art of Pure Awareness. Inspired by the Upanishads, Hinduism, philosophy, and spirituality, and the poetry of Zen, Taoism, and Eastern mysticism, Voyager is an inspirational and transformational work on spiritual and personal growth. When we identify less with our minds and physical form, and become more aware of our formless and timeless essence within, we discover there is a light that shines beyond all things on earth, beyond the highest, the very highest heavens. This is the light that shines in your heart, is an excerpt from Chandogya Upanishad. Deep within us is the real secret to true peace and happiness. Each of the 25 chapters presents a voyage toward our inner, authentic self, allowing a deeper awareness of the isness of now. Exploring the shores of human beingness ever more deeply, we realize soul is the lighthouse, the light that guides us safely home. By simply experiencing life without distraction from a negative mind, we see through personal drama to our truest nature. It is only the mind which appears as the world and as bondage. There is no world other than the mind. On inquiry, this mind turns out to be nothing more than ripples, Thoughts in the still ocean of pure awareness, is a quote from the Ribu Gita. Book 3, Puri, Search for Paradise. A children's spiritual book based on a true story about a child's compassionate act of charity toward a homeless and pregnant dog. On the beautiful island of Bali, Sam and his newly found canine friend Puri learn about the gifts of love and friendship. Together they search for a place to call home. They journey across the ocean in a small boat to a tiny island called Lembongan, hoping to find paradise. Puri transcends language and culture by showing us that all we need is love and friendship, and that we must learn how to overcome feelings of sadness and loneliness by developing positive emotions of trust and hope. Be mesmerized by the beautiful hand-drawn illustrations of the rich, warm and abundant colors of Bali. Most pictures contain an Indonesian word together with English, showing that beyond our difference of expression, we all speak the same language. Book 4, Heart of the Earth. Peter Goodhope is a master of pen and ink, a painter of fairy tale landscapes. Secret forests, hidden valleys and cloud-covered mountains become inhabited with animals he'd known as a child. Owls under moonlight, badgers in the woods at dawn, foxes posturing on the evening hills, human-like in their pose, bringing a magical realism to his work. But when Peter returns home to his childhood village of Nemeten, he soon discovers the charming, once peaceful countryside he so fondly remembers may be hiding something more maleficent. Looking for inspiration to begin writing his book, unlikely allies enter Peter's life in the form of woodland creatures, seeking his help to defeat evil poachers decimating the wildlife. Peter must enter their world, learn to speak their language, and prepare the wandering band for an unearthly, climactic battle. Can Peter find the key to their salvation? Does he have the resources to save the animals from their darkest hour and restore peace to the land? The boundary between what is real and what is imagined begins to blur. Weaving a subtle blend of Gaelic languages into the story, Cornish, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh, mythological and mystical insights reveal the magical realm of nature and the natural life-healing power of the earth. These ancient languages unveil the secrets and hidden meanings of the origin of words and their connection to the very fabric of nature. One of the endearing qualities of Heart of the Earth is its sense of nostalgia, both for a closer relationship with nature and a simpler, old-time England, a land steeped in Celtic lore and legend.